It feels
Hmm.
like it's been a while.
I think it has because we recorded on Wednesdays for a while because of Loki. So
Yeah, the last time
this
that
was
we
like,
recorded was the last episode of Loki, and the one before that we had recorded so ahead in advance. So
yeah,
it has been like a really long time.
yeah.
Wow, so many things have happened since.
A lot of
We
things have happened
I
since.
want to say preface before we continue, if you guys were wanting a Loki episode for the last episode, we did try to record it, but our like the internet was really spotty, and but we tried. Um, so we have like part of an episode, but like, oh, I feel like it's not like quality content that we like want to put out, you know? So
Yeah.
we'll do like another episode sometime in the future and just give our thoughts, maybe when the next movie comes out or whatever. But wow.
Mhm. But I don't even know where to start. Like,
I have notes. So guys, this we had something planned for this episode. Like we have a like list, or sometimes we'll send ideas back and forth and be like, okay, we're gonna do this. And so we had something that we were gonna do, but then there's so much has happened within the last 2 weeks. I want to say that
I feel like it's all happened within the past couple days because it's only been a week since well, the main focal point is how Netflix put the Twilight saga on, which is great. But then it's like within the past 2-3 days, like it's been a shitstorm on
yeah.
Twilight TikTok and Twitter, mainly TikTok. But
Mhm.
it's like, oh,
Yeah, so so we're doing a little bit off the rails kind of video today. So guys, prepare because I think our emotions are in it, you know? Like our emotions are very heightened by this entire situation.
yeah. And I'm mostly just annoyed by now. Like this morning and yesterday, I was so angry. And then I'm
Mhm.
just exhausted at this point.
Okay, so where do we begin? So we a couple weeks ago, new Netflix announced that the entire Twilight saga was going to be up on Netflix. First of all, I want to say it's not the extended editions. Hulu has the extended editions. So love Hulu for that. But you do have to have
Yes.
like premium act or like live TV or something like that. But regardless, they have extended edition. So Netflix released it, no extended edition, the entire saga on Netflix. Great. Everyone loved it, you know. It was for a lot of fans who had been part of the original Twilight Renaissance back in last year, whatever. It was like bringing them back, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, so excited!" And then you know how like it kind of feels like whenever they release it on new platforms, or you get like a new Twilight DVD, like you like have to watch it because you're like, it's like kind of it feels like you're kind of watching it all over again, even though you're not. You know, like
Yeah.
it's the excitement of it. You know,
Yeah.
so oh my gosh, Twilight's going to be on this new platform that's fairly affordable. So great, right?
Hmm.
That was fine. And then literally like 5 day, like 4 or 5 days after, Twilight was in the top 5 movies of all of US. It was number one,
Yeah.
number two, number three, number four, number five.
Yeah. I saw like Twitter was talking about it and I was just all like, oh crap. Because I just immediately was all like, oh no, this is kind of like what happened when Midnight Sun was released.
Hmm. So that was great. We were like, wow, like the power that the fandom holds, the power that Twilight has over like modern day media is amazing.
Yeah.
And then it was even all the movies were even top 10 in the entire like in TVs and movies in the entire US. So it was thriving on Netflix. But with this new
Thing.
I am calling it a Twilight Renaissance part 2.
It really, well, see, I kind of, okay, well, then again,
I
I
get what
would
you're
say
saying
it's,
because it's
I,
like there was a Renaissance, and then the Midnight Sun there was like a Renaissance.
yeah,
So maybe like part 3, but this one feels like bigger because I feel like the Midnight Sun was just big for in the fandom,
yeah,
but
it was,
then
yeah, that,
this one
I
is
would say
like
that.
reaching a farther, like a bigger like um what is it, like a bigger
Platform,
audience, or
audience.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, so the Twilight Renaissance kind of kicked off on Tumblr back in 2017, 2018. And so it's like not that many people knew about it, but it's like if you were on Tumblr and you came across it, it's like, oh my God, the fans from Twilight are here. Because, a lot of people didn't talk about Twilight back then. Like it wasn't considered popular anymore. It kind of faded off. So really, your only way of like knowing someone was a fellow Twilight stan was if you saw them posting about it on Tumblr or maybe even on Instagram. And then it was the release of Midnight Sun, where you saw fans like, who have been there since the books coming back, like, oh my God, there's a new book. This is so cool. And it was trending on Twitter. It broke Stephanie Meyer's website. But like you said, it was more like the fans or people who remembered that they had liked the books when they were younger and they were all like, oh my gosh, since there's another book, I got to check it out. With Netflix releasing the movies, it's like you got people who didn't watch the movies and weren't part of the original fandom, or they were and then they just fell off of it and they were just like, oh, it's not for me. Or you have the people who they hated Twilight and they shitted
Mhm.
on people, and now they're giving the movies a chance because they're on Netflix. And so it's like, it,
Another thing I've
it,
seen is maybe they like read the books and they never watched the movies, and now they're watching the movies.
yeah,
Um, so we're getting, and I am a very big believer in, it does not matter what age or at what point you join the fandom. It
yeah,
doesn't matter if you've only read the books. It doesn't matter if you've only watched the movies. It doesn't matter if you read both, right? Like everyone, like if you are a fan, then you're a fan, and that's great, and we welcome you with open arms, because like literally like a decade ago, like people would make fun of people for even liking Twilight. So
yeah.
the fact that people are like open and out about it, which like to some people might sound silly, like having to like be open, like being able to be open about liking something, but like literally back then, like you would have to be like, oh, Twilight, that's like Twilight sucks, because people would
You
make fun
wanted to
of
fit.
you. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you didn't want to get made fun of. Like I went through it also, and it's all like I've even had people kind of judge me about that. Like I'm not gonna say names, but I had people kind of be like, why would you like keep it hidden, like blah blah blah. And of course, I mean, again, I don't want to bring age into it, but it's like a lot of them were like, older people who, they didn't go through schooling like I did. And it's like people were kids are me. So it's
Yeah,
like,
a lot of time, a lot of, and that was a problem that we had with the drama a couple months ago in the fandom. Like
yeah,
there were people who had been in the fandom the same amount of time that we have, but they were just older and were able to spend money on things at the time, and they were able to go to events because they were adults and had money. And we have been fans the same length of time, but we were children, and it wasn't up to, like, if it was up to us and we had the money, we probably would have gone to these things too. But it wasn't.
yeah,
Everyone's situation is different. And that was, but I think that also kind of like was thrown onto us, like I want to say like 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 the younger millennial, older Gen Z, like that group of people, that was kind of thrown on us to like look up to these people, who I think that there are some amazing people to definitely look up to, who were adults when Twilight came out, like Mama Cat. Love Mama Cat.
love him a cat.
She listens every episode. Love you so much. But there are definitely people who are part of the older people who were adults when it came out, who we were kind of like, I don't want to say, like, it was like a default to call them OG fans, but
Yeah,
because at some point we were called the babies of the
yeah,
fandom. But like
yeah,
when they came out, we were probably for sure like we were babies of fandom, sure. And they
yeah,
were, but like it's wrong to say that they were the OGs just because they were adults, you know?
yeah,
So like
yeah.
we
Because
we are
like,
OGs, but we were all,
yeah,
and we were babies at some point of the fandom, but now we are not babies of the fandom anymore. I would like to say, and I sometimes like for my students, I call my students like my babies. They're babies, but my sister's looking at me like, because she's here, but she's looking at me like, ill, because my middle schoolers would probably be like, that's weird, miss. But they're babies, like they're younger.
yeah,
I would like to say that a lot of these, I'm seeing a lot of the things that I'm seeing on TikTok, which we'll get into right now because that's like a whole nother thing, is it's a lot of younger kids who are like middle schoolers or like, and it's like I've been a fan for as long as you've been alive.
Yeah.
like like oh my, and then they'll be like, oh, I hate, oh, I can't even say because we're gonna like, it's like
I
when
don't
we
even
get,
want to say it because I get so worked up. Like I am out here, like these people are wilding in our comment section and have the audacity, and it's all like, if you just looked on our page, you would see like
yeah,
I don't even know how to I don't even know where to start because it's all like we have it's like we have the people who are assuming that we're fans just because it's popular right now and we're gonna like once the hype goes over it's like we're gonna leave, and then you have people who the Jacob imprinting discussion is back and
yes,
it's a
and
differing opinion.
I have that in my notes, and we'll definitely get to that. But I just, okay, these newer gen, I would I love for new, I like, it's the biggest thing to me is to like, like my students sometimes they'll be like, oh, I like Twilight, like they'll see my like I have my Twilight Tumblr, and last week be like, Miss, I like Twilight, or I've never seen that, I'm gonna watch it. And I love like kind of like introducing people to new, like introducing people into the fandom because it's like, welcome here, like we're a family. I
Yeah,
know for a fact that in the past, the fandom has been toxic. That was the whole reason I got out of the fandom, because of toxic, like being in a toxic group, right?
yeah,
Um,
that's
and
why I
then
left Twilight Tumblr.
yes, and so then I my fear. Remember when we thought months ago that like TikTok was gonna become like
Twilight
Twilight
Tumblr.
Tumblr, because we had people like Ajay going on and like giving their opinions, and people were like in the comments like just like going off, and then
Yeah,
and we were like we would like be like, guys, what's going on, what's going on with the
yeah,
TikTok? And then it
and that
died. I think it stopped for a little bit. At least, I mean, I never really got, and I would like to say that I never really got any hate like that on my page. I never got people really battering like, and Ajay, I feel so terrible. I feel like
I,
we're jumping around, but like,
I Ajay, if you're watching this, oh my god, girl, you're a queen. I'm so sorry of the negativity you have been giving. Please don't let it get to you, and take all the time you need off of TikTok because this stupid clock gap is really running out of patience for everyone.
literally. And I remember like, and so, and I never really got the hate that she has gotten on her page. That's because I feel like for a while on TikTok, it was jokes. Like everything was making fun of it, making these jokes. But at some point in our like, and I especially saw at some point in my like TikTok career, that's like the weirdest thing to say. But at some point in my TikTok career, if it turned to me like making jokes about it to like giving opinions about it, or like little things like that. And then usually it's met with, if there's someone who disagrees, wow, if there's someone who disagrees, it's usually not like, they're not like terrible about disagreeing,
Yeah,
like like if I post something like, oh, I hate eclipse, they'll be like, oh my gosh, look at all this eclipse slander. But they're not gonna go on there and be like, how dare you fucking hate eclipse, you are so
yeah.
stupid, have you ever read like, Jesus.
Oh my god, that's gonna be. You know what? I'm at the point where I'm just gonna put that in my Twitter bio. Like, have you even read the books? Because
No, you know what? I'm gonna do it for everything. I'm gonna go on to anytime, anything in the fandom, any fandom. It could be a fandom that doesn't even have a freaking book, and I'm gonna go in the comments and be like, "Have you read the books? Maybe you should go read the books."
oh my
Oh,
god, see, this is what I love about us is that we're at the point now where we're just gonna freaking like embarrass them and be like, you know what? All you're doing is you're not even doing anything to me at this point. At this point, you're just being loud for no reason. Like
yeah.
I just it's like just go on their videos and be like, have you even read the books? Oh no, no. Oh my god, you think Bella's hair is like not moosey brown? Have you even read the books?
Like, and yeah, so I've so what happened is this new like Netflix coming on, Twilight going on Netflix kind of like had this resurgence, and then like a lot more Twilight videos started popping up on my For You page, which is great because I will never back down from a Twilight like TikTok. Um, and then lots of like other little things, uh, like more comments or more things. And then I don't know where the switch happened, but then I started seeing
I don't
people
even
give
know.
very, like, they would make very absurd videos like
Yeah.
about Twilight, and I would sit there and I'd be like, what are they talking about? I was like, like, and I get it. Some people have very like very headcanon opinions about Twilight, which is a great.
Yeah.
But some of these videos were like blatantly like just like negative, and it wasn't even about disliking Twilight. It was like things that people in the comments would be like, what the heck are you talking about? Like there's this I know like Riley said that she had someone in her comments said, oh, someone made a video that said Bella does not give off bi energy. It was a video. Bella doesn't give off bi energy. She was so straight. And I was like, "Mm." Like
Really?
because in Twilight, she literally talked about how freaking gorgeous Rosalie was and how she
Yeah.
like more than she even like talked about Edward. She saw Edward, she was like, "Oh, there's that guy with the reddish brown hair and the nice
Yeah.
jawline or whatever."
And then in New Moon, when she saw Heidi, she was all like, I don't think I've seen anyone more beautiful, almost as beautiful as Rosalie. And it's like, um,
And you know what? Bo in Life and Death gives me bi energy too.
he does. He was checking out Royal. He was checking out Archie.
Exactly. Like, and then that same person who made the video went on to say that Rosalie gives off bi energy. I was like, excuse me, ma'am. If there's any girl in the world that Rosalie likes, it's herself.
Exactly.
If there's any
Exactly.
girl in the world that Rosalie finds hot, she's like, it's me. Rosalie is so literally Rosalie and Emmett have so much sexual like attraction towards each other. Rosalie does not give off bi energy to me. It's like Bella, Alice, Angela, even like
I mean, you saw how Angela was biting her lip and breaking down at the Denali sisters. Like she was like, and I was all like,
mhm,
"Ooh, Angela, you swinging for the girls?"
exactly. So there, it's things like this, right? And I honestly can't even say when the switch happened, but our friend Crystal posted a TikTok,
Bless her.
and it was like an audio saying like what the fuck are you doing or something like
Oh
that,
my
right?
god, yeah, it was a popular audio that's trending.
Yeah. And it
Let me see if I can find it. It was like me watching Jacob imprinting on a baby, and then it was all like, "What the fuck?" And it's all like, I have seen so many people make videos like that. I think I've even made a video like that, and it's a common thing in the fandom that we've been talking about for years, and it's like, okay, there's still and it's like when I was young, when I was in the theaters, I was a little like, oh, that's weird. But then, at first I was all like, oh, okay, he did it because he had no control and because blah 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 this to save the wolves. But then as I got older and I like read into it, and I know people hate it when people read into things, but honestly, sometimes you have to read into things. And it's like I was like, that's disgusting. And there are still people who they see nothing wrong with imprinting, and it's like, you know what, okay, you don't see anything wrong with it. However, I do. It's creepy. I don't support it. I don't want that relationship to turn romantic.
mhm.
And it's just like there's so many videos that people have made like that, and the fact that crystals, I think it's just the timing with how this freaking fandom is acting on TikTok, that Crystal just got unlucky with the timing and people have been attacking her.
I literally posted a imprinting hate video like the same time as Crystal, and people were like fine. I don't
Yeah.
understand. Like people in my video were like, "Oh my gosh, I they like sent like let me go read because people were fine about it. Except for one person, they put like people are so immature, but I wasn't sure what exactly they meant by that because they follow me. So I was like, I don't know if that means anything. Basically, I just put like Jacob and Prince on rotisserie chicken, and then it's that was my video. So it was like Jacob and Prince on rotisserie chicken. Can you explain to me what the fuck that was about? And then people were fine. Someone was like, maybe he just wanted to propose to her already, and I was like, stop it. And then someone put grooming a baby. And then that one person put people are so mature. And then I responded to them. I was like, how so? And they never responded. So I was like, okay, fine. And
Yeah.
then someone put so many people want to excuse it, but that's literal grooming, but magical. I know Stefan has a reason, but why? But this was not great. I would like to preface this for everyone, anyone that because in Crystal's comments, I could not leave. Oh, I was
I know
so
which thread you were talking
angry.
about earlier, and I could not.
That's why I told her, Crystal, I was like, I don't care. You don't have to turn the comments off. Please delete the thread because I will not leave it alone. I wouldn't. Anytime someone responds to me some dumbass comment, I'm gonna respond to them. And I was like, Crystal, for my for my sanity, please, because I will go and I like these people will catch these hands. I was fumed. I was so angry, so angry. And I freaking I was arguing with people, and some like people were defending it. And I want to say preface to this to anyone who likes Jacob, who is a team Jacob. In terms of Edward, like Jacob, team Edward and team Jacob, for Bella, Edward all the way. For
yeah,
myself, Edward all the way. That's not a me not liking Jacob thing. It's not at all. It's me just liking vampires. On like
yeah,
honestly for me, the whole anytime that I ever had a team Edward, team Jacob like thought, or anytime I saw the movies, it wasn't about it was not me, Jacob, like actual Jacob character versus Edward. To me, it was like werewolves versus vampires. And I
yeah.
just like vampires.
Outliers.
I think vampires are sexy. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're kind of dead, but like they're inhumanly beautiful. And
and I
so
never
what? Maybe I have a blood kink.
Yeah,
Oh well.
exactly. Like I never really thought until I saw Ajay's videos. Well, maybe I saw videos. I thought about things like that before, but until I saw her videos and Corinne's, I never really like looked at the people who are like Team Jacob. And I know Ajay's not Team Jacob, um, but I never really like thought into it as much, and thought about like how like the racism and the things that are behind a lot of these ideas in the books play a
Yeah,
factor in people not liking Jacob, because Stephanie has villainized Jacob and the Quileute tribe the entire time. And I would
yeah,
like to, I it's honestly I'm not one of the persons who's like really like, oh, I love the like reading the books. Like I can read the books over and over again. I've read the books probably like I've read Twilight couple times. But like all the other books, I've maybe read like once or twice a long time ago.
yeah.
And except, I mean, Midnight Sun, I've read twice. Life and Death, I read twice actually. Reread it because
I I mean, I'm the same. I've read Life and Death 3 times, and then it's like I've read Twilight and Eclipse Twilight and Eclipse the most, but I've only read Breaking Dawn once, like once or twice, and then New Moon I think I've read 3 times.
yeah. And so I feel like I never really looked into it like that, because after read like once you read something like after the second time, you start to analyze it and critique it more and really look into it. That's exactly what happened with Twilight. After I read it like the third time, I was like, this is weird, this is weird, this is weird, right?
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
I need to go back and read the other one so that I can feel it, fully realize what they're talking about. But I see it, I hear it out. I don't hate their opinions, and I don't hate anyone who's like, hey, if you hate, and this is what I think the argument is for a lot of people that I've seen. If you hate Jacob, you should have that same hatred or for Edward too,
yeah.
because I mean, they're kind of like one and the
He's
same.
Yeah. I mean, Edward is really just as bad. I
Yeah.
mean, the way he was very controlling and possessive in Eclipse, the way he was creepy in Twilight, kind of full on stalking, and then the fact that in New Moon he freaking just he made the decision for Bella of that he was leaving and didn't like even have a care of how she would feel, and it's like you've made this impact on her, it's going to hurt her.
Mhm.
It's like, and then taking all of the stuff that reminded her of him, it's like that. I still think Bella should have had more of a reaction
Yeah.
to Edward. Like she should have went off on him. She should have like maybe broke her hand slapping him. It's like,
Yeah.
because
I definitely think like so I get it. And there's people who are like, I am team Edward, but I'm team Edward, but I see the terrible things he's done, and like I don't agree with those things, but I'm still
yeah,
team Edward. Just like some people are like, I'm team Jacob and I see the terrible things he's done and I don't agree with that, but I prefer Jacob. And like my friend Holly, she came and did my hair the other week. We're letting it fade right now because I'm gonna do something else to it. But I know. But so we were talking about it. That day she came and did my hair. We were watching Twilight, and whatever, as people do. And she was like, "Look, I see all the terrible things that Jacob has done, but look at all the terrible things Edward has done." She was like, "Edward is 17-year-old. like he's
yeah,
old, a lot longer to live and do these things. And Jacob is a 16-year-old boy." She was like, 16-year-old boys do stupid shit.
yeah,
I mean, I can think about all the terrible things I did when I was a 16-year-old that I look back and I'm like, why the fuck did I do that? You know?
same, yeah,
So I
just
see I see both sides. I see why people don't like Edward. I see why people don't like Jacob. I prefer vampires, so I'm team Edward. And that's who Bella wants. So I'm team Edward for Bella.
yeah,
I'm not team Jacob for Renesmee.
no, hell no.
And we can get into that because that was a whole argument um on Crystal's video.
Like I'm team Leah and Dimitri.
Yeah. So I
First,
if I'm not okay, like I said, out of Jacob and Edward, I'm team Emmett.
same.
Emmett feeds my like vampire like fantasy.
Archibald King.
I love Emmett so much. Like, okay. So people were arguing about imprinting. I personally think the way that this Stephanie has set up this situation is literally, to me, textbook grooming.
I agree.
Because and
I
people
agree.
people are there like, people hear the word grooming and they run with it, and I'm like, no.
Look, oh my god,
I'm like
it's like
I'm like, how else do you expect for me to take it? And then people were like, you should read the books. And then they go off and they go, and then they turn around and they go, you should read the books. Jacob chose to imprint on it to protect Renesmee. And I was like, you want me to read the books, but you're telling me that Jacob chose to do it?
exactly.
I was like, what happened to his free will? People are over here, like, they were in the comments literally contradicting themselves. They're like, Jacob chose to do it. He has no choice. You should read the books. He chose to do it. And I'm like, which is it? Did Jacob choose to do it or does he have free will? And then it never occurred to, it never occurred to me that people think the imprinting situation at the end of the movie, not even the book, at the movie, they see it as a brother sister imprint because Jacob says if he should call Edward
No,
dad. So they're like, oh, that must mean that he's gonna be like a big brother to Renesmee. And I was like, okay, maybe if they had just left it as should I call you dad now? Maybe if they just left it at that, okay, maybe. But they fully went on to do a whole fucking future montage scene with Jacob
I
and
know.
Renesmee holding hands. You tell me that,
Exactly.
tell me that's more than a brother sister relation. That's not more than a brother sister relationship.
It's not like it. I mean, they literally implied at the end that it would turn romantic. And it's just like, I'm gonna pull up the definition of, also, trigger warning for people with, grooming and pedophilia. Trigger warning if you're sensitive to these topics. So it's grooming. So there's different, there's the main definitions are: when a sexual or other kind of predator sets the stage for abusing others, such as a child or other person. And then trust may give toys and or other gifts and favors to the intended victim to gain trust. Alienation, setting the stage for the intended victim to become alienated. Fear, dependency. So those are the more of the those
Like,
are a little bit more dark. Let me see if I
yeah,
can,
because
because
I think people hear grooming and they hear, okay, establish a relationship. They think establish a relationship with a child to set up for future SA.
yeah,
But there are also that is an grooming is, I think, is like an umbrella term. I think there's a lot
it's
of different ways that you can groom a
yeah,
child with not it ending sexually.
yeah, it says prepare or train someone for a particular purpose or activity. And then it's like, if you look at what Stephanie put as imprinting in the official illustrated guide that she wrote with some some people, um it says that imprinting, um where is it? It says that some believe that imprinting ensures the passing on of the werewolf gene. Others believe imprinting happens to produce larger, stronger wolves in the next generation. The werewolves do not know the answer for certain. So it's all like, the point of imprinting is to have kids and keep the line going. So it's all like, grooming is to prepare or train someone for a future purpose or act, and imprinting is to prepare for the next line of generation.
Exactly. So like, and then okay, let's say that we didn't have the illustrated guide. Let's say that that was thrown out the window.
Yeah.
In the book, Will, we all know, imprinted on a 2-year-old baby
Oh God.
named Claire. Okay, fine. If we're gonna go with the whole thing, it's for he's gonna be her protector. He's gonna be her big brother. Okay, but listen to me, bitches. Listen. Okay.
Go off, Raven.
When Jacob asked Quill if he was going to date people while Claire's growing up, he said, "No. Why would I? It's so pointless." And Jacob proceeded to tell him, you know that she wouldn't mind. Like she'd forgive it. How are you going to tell me that that is not grooming? That that is not wrong?
And then you got Bella and Edward's reaction. Like, Bella's reaction when she found out that Quill had imprinted on a 2-year-old. She obviously went to the worst case scenario. She saw that it was wrong. Edward's reaction, and well, the deleted scene of the in Breaking Dawn Part 1, when Edward finds out, he freaking
He
knocks
dislocates
Jake
Edward's shoulder.
unconscious. Yeah. And then Bella's reaction, and Jake's all like, it's not like that. But then she's all like, excuse me. So even without the guide saying like what we know, Stephanie did not write it in a way that
That made it
came
any
across
better.
anything that, yeah.
Literally. And let's say that we're excluding the movie situation. At the end of the book, Edward calls Jacob his son.
I know.
Not
So
because not because he's a big brother to Renesmee. No, because eventually
he's gonna
the
be
way
his
that it
son.
is written is that Jacob will end up with Renesmee and that will be his son-in-law. Come on, like,
Yeah.
and then people want to go on and say that it's not grooming. he has no choice. I understand that Jacob does not have a choice, but you know who had a fucking choice? Stephanie Meyer. That too.
Exactly. Stephanie, you could have easily written something else. You could have made it to where Alice, first of all, if she shouldn't have written in canon that Alice can't see the future of the wolves and she couldn't see the future of Renesmee, because that literally just pointless, pointless. I think Alice could be so damn powerful if she could see the future of anyone.
And
And then it's
then
like,
go for it.
yeah,
No, go.
it's like have like I don't know. I think you had mentioned it. Like have I think you said it in your TikTok about it. It's like Alice could have seen a vision of him imprinting on her in the future when she is mature.
Yeah.
That would have that, and so then the pack couldn't do it.
Yeah,
So
and so in that TikTok video that you're talking about, we know that Stephanie had no plans for new moon or any eclipse.
yeah,
And then not to mention, or Breaking Dawn, because she had Forever Dawn. Not to mention that she was probably rushed. I understand. I get it. I hate being rushed to do shit. And I understand
yeah,
that when you're being rushed to do things, it might not come out 100% how you
yeah.
want it.
I mean, these books are like 400 to 600 pages, and she popped them out each year. It was like 05, 06, 07, 08.
Literally.
So it's all like,
And then I feel like, okay, if a book really, 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 truly is fully realized, all the ideas are there, you get everything in these books, he would not have to have put out an illustrated guide. If we're being 100% honest,
yeah,
like anything should be answered, everything should be answered in the books itself. The illustrated guide is fucking huge.
it's I think
Ima-
the heaviest. It's the heaviest.
Imagine having all of that in the books, everything would be answered. Nothing would have had to be answered after the fact. And then we know that her ideals are not fully realized because at the end of Breaking Dawn, she just glazes over the fact that the werewolves are not even werewolves. They're shapeshifters.
Yeah, exactly. And then also, she freaking never answered the question about Embry. Like, who the hell is Embry's dad? She just puts it, she literally just throws it in there. That literally is a very kind of, difficult and serious situation amongst the tribe, because it's all like, here's Embry, whose mom isn't from their tribe, and Embry has the gene of. And it's all like, that means his father is one of their fathers. And that just puts a whole freaking, like, set in stone for like someone's family. So it's like she never answers that.
I think if you really want to prove that imprinting is not this like anything than what it's been, then show us different imprints. You've showed us all romantic imprints and then two that are not romantic, but they will be eventually. Like like what is that? I like show us imprinting like on like werewolf, like a werewolf on a boy. And they're not gay, like it's a platonic imprint, Like
Yeah,
show us a wolf imprinting on an old lady who's literally like hanging on
about
to
to die.
life. Like show us that it's not inherently like romantic. And then the fandom would have probably been okay with it. Like I saw someone comment like Billy should have just imprinted on Charlie. And someone was like, oh well, like the vampires didn't get there in time, like for whenever Billy like needed to, whenever he would have, if he were to shift, like they didn't get there in the time that he should have, right? But
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly believe, to me it is headcanon, that if vampires were in the area when Billy was able to shift, he would have imprinted on Billy because they're best friends.
Period. That's his ride or die. And not to mention freaking, I already have a bone to pick with Stephanie over kind of, whether it was intentional or it was just internalized misogyny or sexism. The deal with Leah and how Leah doesn't get her period while she's shifting, therefore she can't have children. And it's kind of written in the fact that, and she puts it in the guide also, the way she's written it, it makes it sound like only the males imprint. Therefore, Leah doesn't. And so Leah's hanging on to this, love she has for Sam that she wants to break off so badly, but she can't because she doesn't even know if she can imprint. It's like,
Yeah.
why would you do that? I mean, then again, Stephanie Meyer, I don't know you. I don't know your reasoning, but you make it seem like you literally hate every one female character you wrote in this saga besides Bella.
Yeah. And literally we have literally a topic on that. So maybe we can like get into that in another episode.
Yeah.
But I literally like I think so that's why I made that video because I was like, what are things there's to me there's a list of things Stephanie could have done to not make Jacob imprint on Renesmee. Like
Yeah.
at all. One, like I said, this is my favorite. To me, it will always be headcanon. I seriously want to write a fanfic just based on
Do
this.
it. Do it. I know which
And
one you're talking about. And
it's
I know which
it's
one you're
literally
talking about because
it's
we've
the
discussed it.
best. It's the best. I feel like it could have been so good. I love a good meaty love triangle. They're the best. I don't know if you do you remember that trend that was going on TikTok that was like go to Netflix to this TV show, this series called Sex Life and go to episode 3 and skip to this and show the reaction because it shows like the guys
Yeah.
thing and it's like
Yeah.
yeah. So I after seeing that I was like what is this show about? And I started watching it. And when I tell you this love triangle is probably the best love triangle I've ever I was like because it's not a love triangle how you think it is. It's like a husband and wife, and the wife is writing in her journal all of her like experiences and stuff with her ex. So it's kind of like an imagined love triangle in a way. And the husband definitely thinks that it's like happening and like oh, like if you haven't like you literally need to watch it. It's so
Ooh,
good. It's steamy. It's like oh, like it's I love it. I love it. It's so good. I literally binged it in one day. I was like I was glued. It was so good.
that kind of reminds me with It Ends With Us, where
Oh,
it was where it's kind of, it's not as sexual as like that, but it's
yeah.
like it's like Lily's in a relationship with Ryle, but yet she reads her old diary of her first love with Atlas, and it's
Mm.
like, oh,
Yeah, but the problem is that it's like a continuing journal that she's writing like in present. So it's like oh, it's a lot. So I wholeheartedly believe that Stephanie Meyer should have had Jacob imprint on Bella.
yeah,
And the moment that it would have been perfect is right before Jacob is about to call and they're about to kiss. They were so close to kissing. And I think instead of having their phone ring, I think kiss, imprint right away. Boom.
yeah, because her
Everything.
shield would be down because of
Her shi-
emotions.
her shield is down, emotions. That was another theory that maybe Jacob could not have imprinted on her because she's a shield, but maybe in that moment she's vulnerable. Her shield is down. He imprints, and then like imagine like he imprints, and then like he sees a montage of their future that they could have together. Tell me
Yeah,
that's oh does
it's
it
so good.
it literally would have been so good. And then after that, Jacob is like, "What the heck?" And Bella's like, because even Bella could feel it, like, what just happened?" And then phone rings. The same thing happens because Jacob's like, "What the fuck?" Right? Edward like, someone's calling, interrupting this moment. Hello, hi, is Charlie there? He's arranging a funeral. Boom, hang up, and then everything happens the same, except the decision for Bella to leave to there like imagine if Jacob didn't like tell her right away that he imprinted, but he told her while she was in the car about to leave and he was like, Bella, please don't, I imprinted. Boom. Whoa, what is she gonna do? Guess what, she still goes to save Edward. He is heart well he's crushed.
I know. And then it's like he can't leave her alone at this point. Like he can't, like he has to, like, be around her. But then it's because, he imprinted on her, they established that connection. So then that moment between new moon and eclipse where like they've avoided each other, it's like Bella can't understand why she's hurting so much to the point where it feels like how it was when Edward was gone. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like
Like that would have made so much sense, and it would have made that entire eclipse thing so much more intense. Imagine that argument that they had whenever Jacob like went into the house to be like, oh, well, there's definitely someone's definitely been here, like, and we got his scent, and he's like, we'll take it from here. It's like we don't need anything from you, blah blah blah. Like, this is over. That would have been so much more intense because Jacob imprinted and loves Bella. Edward imprinted and or Edward did not. Edward loves Bella, and then Bella is just like literally in a situation.
I was gonna say, Raven, you know, pull an E.O. James and write the fanfic, but then create your own characters, create your own storyline, and then publish it. I'll read it, girl.
Period. I'll just do it. I mean, literally, because okay, look, okay, wait, okay, let me finish before I get into it. So then, literally, Bella really has to choose. Everything happens the same, but it's so much more of a harder like it's hard for Bella because she's like she feels like the right thing to do would be to go with Jacob because he imprinted, but she loves Edward so much that she cannot see herself with anyone else but Edward. So then that would have been showing us a different imprint because then they are strictly platonic and he is just her protector and or little brother or whatever he is to her because she ends up with Edward.
Yeah.
And literally, like everything could have been the same. He could have still showed up at her wedding. It would have been more like precious, like for him to surprise her there because you know
Imprint.
he
Yeah.
imprinted, and she's like, "Oh my god!" And like literally, and then like everything could have happened the same. She comes back. Bella is pregnant, but then instead of obviously because we don't have the Renesmee imprint anymore, they cannot kill Renesmee because that would be hurting Bella.
Yeah. That
That's
would have
it.
been so juicy.
And literally, like Jacob, and maybe because Jacob broke away from the pack at some point. But if he imprinted in Newman, they would have known that he imprinted, right?
Yeah, with the telepathy, but and so that could have also been spicy because it's like here they are, they can't by law they cannot hurt Bella, but then it's like they're at a crossroad because it's like they don't know what this baby is gonna do, and it's like so
Hmm.
that could have been even a more like
It would have been
spicy.
way more intense. That is what I feel like should have happened wholeheartedly, and it's just like, and then Bella literally because Bella like, they think they're gonna go to have this fight with the Volturi. But it would have been it's like, okay, well now like what I need you to do as my imprinter is protect my daughter.
Yeah,
And that's it. And it would have been like so much better. Like, come on. It would have been so much meatier. Like, oh, it would have pulled at the heartstrings. Then I think you would really have a team Edward, team Jacob.
yeah,
That would have
and
been
then
so much more intense than just like
oh
what's
god,
like
can we like go back to 2000 like 5 and like be like, wait a minute, do this,
hey, do this instead. And
do
then it would
this,
have
like believe me, trust me, do
and then
this.
and then you know how in the book Edward had the conversation with Jacob, like, look, like we'll kill the baby, take the baby out, kill the baby, whatever. And then he's like, and I'll leave forever, and you can have her and have a life with her and have kids. That would have been so much. Like he told Jacob that, and then in our mind we're like, what the fuck? Like, why is he telling her this? What the heck? But if he had imprinted, it would have been like, you will get what you always wanted, Jacob, because I will unalive myself because
Yeah,
because I have ruined her life. It would have been so much better. Oh,
exactly.
it would have been
Oh
so
my god,
so so much better. Like literally 10 times better, and I'm like so mad that that did not happen. That's what I think should have happened.
it
But
really should have.
some things I think would have made the imprint a little better, or things that should have maybe could have like, okay, maybe instead of him imprinting on her right then and there, Alice has a vision that he imprints on her in like 18 years in the future or
Yeah,
whatever. And then and then and then maybe she doesn't tell Jacob this. Like maybe don't let Jacob know or something because then that's I think that's when it kind of turns weird or something, you know? Like if he knew that like eventually that will be his imprint in the future, that's a little weird.
That's a
But
little
then
weird.
but then maybe tell the Sam, tell I don't know, a Quileute tribe member like elder, and then guess
Yeah.
what? They cannot kill Renesmee because it's safe to drink. It sorry, my and they wouldn't have been able to cover Renesmee because Jacob's gonna eventually imprint on her. And then I think for the 18 years of life that Renesmee is like, because I don't think that after 7 years, I don't care if she's fully mature. She's seven
She's
years
still
old
seven.
and she's seven in my mind. Wait the 18 years, have Jacob leave for then. She cannot have any contact with Renesmee because that's weird. And then 18 years comes by and just let it happen naturally. Don't be like, this is Jacob. Like
Yeah.
maybe when she turned 18, like she goes and does something and then meets this guy and it's like, hey, and then he imprints on her and then she doesn't even really know who he is until surprise. That would have been like even great. Like and the only person who knows this is Alice and Edward because Edward can read Alice's mind.
Yeah. Oh my god, it would have been so good. It
Like
would have been so
and
good.
or okay, another option, maybe Jacob imprints on Leah. So Leah finally gets that happy love ending that everyone really wants for her. They fall in love, have babies, so cute. If Leah could have babies, because we're not sure.
Yeah.
And then instead of Jacob imprinting, maybe whenever Jacob had like came outside and was like crying because Bella died, which honestly breaks my heart. Like that part
That does hurt me.
breaks my heart. Maybe Seth goes inside, assesses the situation. Seth is only 2 years younger than Jacob, so he's like 14 ish,
Yeah.
14,
Yeah.
15.
I would say because what we meet Jacob when he is 15, 16. So by Breaking Dawn, that's about a year and a half after Twilight. So he's about
16,
um
17.
yeah.
And
So
so Seth is
about 15.
13, 14, 15, right?
Yeah.
Seth's imprint on Renesmee instead. They still can't hurt her because that is Seth's imprint. He is still so young. And even we even know from the books that Jacob said that or Edward says that Seth's mind is so pure and
Yeah.
so innocent that I feel like the fandom would be more okay with it if it was Seth because everyone loves Seth if we're being 100% honest.
Yeah.
Um and honestly, I feel like Seth, even though he knows about imprinting, I don't think he fully grasps it because he's still kind of a baby, of the
Yeah.
group. So I
Yeah.
definitely think that maybe he could have imprinted and then he's still so young that maybe like they just keep them away and they don't have to like I mean, no, he has to because he's her imprinter, but like from a distance, like
Yeah.
protect her whenever she needs, but like I feel like you don't have to 100% be there all the time,
Yeah.
But
Oh my God.
those are situations I think it could have made like the imprinting better. Um or maybe just like if he imprinted, maybe never like hint at there being a possibility that there's going to be a relationship in the future.
Yeah.
Like so that was a whole argument on Crystal's post was the
Yeah.
whole imprinting situation. And
Yeah.
I mean, dang, like why like that's and then people were calling Crystal stupid.
Literally, it's like, do you have to like call someone that? Like, you're not in the right. It's like you saying that does not make you in the right at all. It just makes you look like an asshole.
Literally. And then like and then like and that was the whole reason why Ajay is taking a break because there was people going on and like like saying the rudest shit I've ever seen in my life. Like why like if you don't agree with someone about a Twilight opinion, let's move along. Like
Exactly. It is
put like literally put not interested scroll.
Literally, and there's so many things that people can disagree with in this fandom. Like, some people don't like Rosalie. They always see her as a bitch, and they're like, there's nothing good about Rosalie. I'm not that person. I'm someone who, I love Rosalie, and yeah, I don't agree with some of the things that she has said or how she treated Bella or even maybe some of her viewpoints, but I like Rosalie, and I think she was made to be villainous, as you know. Well, that's, again, we can get into that when we talk about the female, like the feminism
Yeah.
and the female in Twilight. You got people who don't like Leah. You got, I love Leah. You got people who um they don't like this, or they think this should have happened, or blah 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 this, blah blah blah. It's just like, nobody's gonna you're gonna find people in this fandom who don't agree with you. And it's like, click not interested, move on. Or you could be mature and have a nice, constructive, critical conversation with someone and be like, oh, I want to hear your side. I never thought about this way.
Yeah.
What made you think this?
There's a fine line between having a conversation, an open conversation, a dialogue about, oh hey, like I don't agree with it. I think this, but can you explain to me like why you think this? Versus being like, you're so fucking stupid, you're so dumb, you're ugly, read the books, you're so like excuse me, I'm sorry. I didn't know that we were like starting to freaking like insult people because they have a different opinion than you. Like, Jesus Christ, like what is this? Like
Yeah, like, I forgot to comment on when I did your sound thing. Let me pull it up because I just couldn't believe it. I mean, I don't know if, I mean, maybe I was just annoyed at this point because I was seeing how people were being treated, like Ajay and Crystal. So it's
mhm.
like, when I got the comment, I was just all like, it like kind of irked me. But it's like, it was under your sound, and it was the like this or that, like Twilight versus all New Moon, all the movies,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
you were like giving different prompts. And it's like, someone freaking commented, this girl commented, she was all like, you said Twilight is least like the books, but have you seen and read Breaking Dawn Part 2? And it's all like, obviously I have read the books. Obviously I've watched the movies. And it's like, I didn't want to, I could have said something rude, but I said, yeah, I have seen and read it. Like,
Yeah.
and it's just like, um, it's just like, I still stand by what I said.
Oh my
And
gosh,
so like,
Mare's comment.
Mare's comment,
She
oh my
was
god.
she was like, "Have you seen and read Breaking Dawn Part 2?" And Mare put Breaking Dawn Part 2 is just Breaking Dawn. The question is more like, have you read it? Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and it's just like, I just couldn't believe it. And then I was so annoyed this morning. I'm already bad. Like, I knew, okay, when I leave, when I'm like traveling, and I knew, and it's like, I know I'm going to be on the road, I wake up and I am cranky. It just never fails. So it's like, I woke up this morning at 10:30 because I knew, or like 10 o'clock because I knew I was gonna be we were coming back home. So I was
Mhm.
already like, oh, I want to sleep in, but I have to get my grandma her medicine. I need to pack. And then I check, my feed. I check my thing, and my thrift shopping video had kind of gotten attention. It's got like 8,000 views, and it got like, 2,000 likes, which, I was happy about, because it's all like, I mean, I like it when a video does good. I'm all like,
Yeah.
okay, it was a good posting day. I mean, again, views don't matter, but it's sometimes I'm just all like, oh, it did good. I like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I posted my freaking my video, and I got these two comments, and the first one I got was like, I'm not gonna say this person's name because who knows? I mean, if they were to watch this, they don't follow me, so I doubt it. But it's like, they said, please stop posting this. I'm looking for Twilight stuff. Everyone's gonna take it for aesthetic. Please delete. I'm on my way to thrift. And it's all like, I don't know if they were trying to be like, rude, because it's just, but the way they worded it, and like saying, please stop posting this, like, please delete, in like all caps.
Yeah.
So I was just so like, I've been posting about Twilight stuff for the past year. This is no aesthetic to me. And then I guess they saw that I was kind of like, excuse me. because they replied like, I wasn't talking about you. I was saying that a lot of people are gonna run to the thrift store to get things. I was like, you literally said please stop posting this and like please delete.
Yeah.
And then the second one I got was it was like um someone this person. Now I don't think this person, again, I don't think this person meant any harm, but it's like I already woke up annoyed and I was kind of like, in a mood about it, and they were all like, when you're done with the Twilight trend in like a month, will you sell the journals to me? It will almost complete my shrine. And it's like, I've been making Twilight I've been making Twilight videos for the past year. I'm not doing this for a trend that will last a month. I was just so like, yeah, if you went to my page, you would know that
Yeah.
I'm not doing
Did
that.
they respond to you?
No, but they liked the comment. So it's just all like, I didn't like how they said that. Like when you're done liking Twilight in a month after the trend, like that it's just like, why are you assuming that every person on Twilight TikTok now is just a new fan?
Yeah, like literally I've been posting for over a year on Twilight TikTok. Like, please, you stop.
Yeah.
And okay, so that leads me yeah, so people on Twilight TikTok right now are going off, and I was like low key, like I can't wait for the hype for like the Netflix hype to kind of die down a little bit, because I just want to go back to like not being afraid to like have to post something and then like have people go off. Literally the only time I've ever gotten hate on Twilight TikTok was that one time I posted that like, oh my gosh, I was rewatching Breaking Dawn and look what I saw, and I like had a circle and it was like Edward like tracksuit Rob on like the corner, and like people were really upset about that. They were like, you're just doing this for views, and I was like, I saw a bit, like I'm doing it because I thought it was funny, but okay.
Yeah.
That's the only time. So
Yeah.
whatever. But
Yeah.
something else in my notes, I put the next thing is gatekeeping the fandom. The
Yeah,
only reason
it's like this type of moments, like when things like this happen, it's all like, gatekeeping.
yeah.
And then, oh,
There's times where like I'm like, well, there's certain things like that I'll be like, I'll gatekeep the fandom like for this. Like people coming on and saying like, have you read the books? You should read the books. I will be a gatekeeper and saying just because you have not read the books does not mean that you're not a fan. Does
yeah.
not mean that you cannot judge the saga. Just like if you haven't read the books, you can't say anything critical about it at all. So that's
Yeah.
one thing that I think that I gatekeep or whatever.
Yeah.
But remember, like months ago, remember that when that whole Cullen Cone drama stuff happened, there are
Oh
people
dear God.
there were people who were like literally hating on Twi talkers and kind of blamed the whole like they blamed the whole Cullen Cone stuff on Twi talkers, which really hurt us because it wasn't like Twi talkers who were going and doing all these terrible things at the Cullen house.
Yeah.
It was random people on TikTok who were doing it for a trend, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why we were upset about that entire situation. And then they even like some of the people who were saying things like that were even saying that like TikTok is so toxic and blah blah blah. But then those same people now are like trying to do stuff on TikTok.
Yeah.
What I meant by gatekeeping the fandom. People who have been in the fandom for a long time and at the top of the fandom cannot fathom to see anyone who is above them, or they cannot fathom that people do not know who they are but know people like us,
Yeah.
and they have to
Yeah.
bring us and they have to bring it down. They have to go and bring it down saying that someone is the true so and so for what? Like what is
It's
the
just,
reason? Like be grateful of the experiences that you have, be grateful that you even have people that still watch you on your platform,
yeah.
and move on with your
It's like
life.
yeah, I mean, and honestly, I don't fucking expect that in like five, even like next year, 5 years. I don't expect people to freaking know who the hell I am. People might know, people might recognize me. I don't consider myself, freaking. I feel like they think of themselves as like famous in the fandom, but it's just like, no, it's like you're known. to maybe a good
I'm
portion.
I'm sorry, but I did not know who they were, who a lot of these people who had been in the fandom for a long time, until I had more followers on TikTok. Like
Yeah.
it was like it like sometimes some people in our group chat would be like, oh, so and so, and I'd be like, wait, who's that? Like, why are they like what did they do? Like, you know, and not out of shade, but just like I genuinely did not knew who they were. A lot of the
Yeah.
older generation people, like not old, I don't want to say older generation. A lot of the older people in the fandom know who they are because they were it. They were like us for the current, you know, they
Yeah.
were they were what we were for the current fandom, I guess you can say.
And it's so like, I'm not trying to again be an ageist, but it's all like if you're gonna I mean they're getting really upset at the fact that people probably recognize us more, they know who we are, and it's like maybe because we're in their age range, and it's so like we're kind of more relatable to them.
And see, the thing is, I don't think like Twilight Talk on TikTok. If you guys don't know who she are, she has over 100,000 followers by just talking about Twilight. She's amazing. Everyone loves
Yeah.
her. She's great. I've had several conversations with her. She's amazing. Go follow her. She's great. Um, she's 40. I hope she doesn't
she
mind that I say that. She's 40. She doesn't look 40. She looks great for
she
her age.
doesn't.
But she's 40, and she is so nice, and she's so kind, and she the other day she made a TikTok and she shouted out like me and a whole bunch of other her favorite Twilight creators. And I was like, that's so nice of her. And like that inspired me to like want to make a video and be like, hey guys, like these are some of my favorite Twilight creators that you should go follow. And I'm gonna make that, but I'm waiting for for something. I'm yeah, whatever. Um, and then there's Mama Cat. I
Well,
I'm gonna go on a tangent about Mama Cat because she is literally the sweetest person. Probably like it's like Mama Cat and then like Sarah are like the two nicest people who are older in the fandom, who are like so nice and welcoming, and like they don't sit there and make you feel stupid for not knowing things. Like because Sarah for Twilight Talks, her entire account is people asking questions and she answers them. But she doesn't do it to like she doesn't make a video and be like, I can't believe people didn't know this, but here you go. Or she
yeah.
doesn't scold people for like not knowing certain things or for asking certain questions. She's literally answered some of the most like outrageous questions I've seen. And she doesn't say like this is the only time I'm going to talk about this. She like cuz there's a creator on TikTok who's fairly new, and they literally someone asked a question about Bella and her period, and it felt like the beginning of the video felt like she was like scolding. She was like, this is the only time that I'm going to answer this question and talk about this. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry, but like if I started on TikTok scolding people, that's not gonna go over well for
Yeah.
like and so it's just that like the gatekeeping, like let's welcome new people. It does not matter if someone did something first. Obviously, if it's like stealing merch, like or like
Oh my
if
god, don't
like
even get me started on that.
stealing merch ideas, that's obviously a little bit different. Okay, that's different. Like if someone
Yeah.
came out with a if someone came out with a song that had similar like a Twilight song that had similar piano like tunes like to silence and called it like quiet and like like that is wrong.
Cherish, if you're listening,
That's my
we love.
guys surprise my next project. I'm coming out with a song called Quiet. Uh, but literally like things like that are wrong. But if someone's job in the past was just to talk about Twilight, like if that was something that they first started doing, but then someone else decides to come and start talking about Twilight, it does not matter if you did it first. You know, it
Sorry,
doesn't.
there is a bug on my
Oh no.
bed. Continue.
Everyone can talk about Twilight. No one has copyrighted talking about Twilight. Just like there's tons of podcasts talking about Twilight.
We're not the only Twilight podcast, and we
We're,
all have similar ideas.
and
We
I'm not
all,
when we started our podcast, our friend Emily was not like, wow, a Twilight podcast. She was like, oh my gosh, like That's so
Go
good.
for
Like,
it.
go for it. She gave us tips. And then even then, like, because I know I remember Twilight. I don't listen to their podcast because I don't want to I don't want to steal ideas. And Emily has told me the same. Like, I haven't listened to your podcast because I don't want to say something that I think came from my brain, but but I heard it from you guys. And I'm like, that's totally fine. But their thing is that they do seasons and they read the books. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. I'm pretty sure from what I've seen from their titles. So even when we did our Midnight Sun series, she wasn't like, "Oh, you're gonna read Midnight Sun." Like they never said anything. Like it was like giving us tips. I asked her like, "How do you guys do it? Do you guys like read the whole thing? You do it in chapters, or what's go like we're welcoming and we allow feedback or whatever. Like that's beautiful about the fandom is that or at least about people that we know in the fandom because we're not over
Yeah.
here like if I wanted to write a Twilight song, I'm sure that Cherish would be like, "That's amazing, go for it." But if I wanted to write a Twilight song and call it Quiet and have it like
Yeah.
that's wrong. You know, like that's different. So that is what I mean by gatekeeping. Is let's not say that someone can only do something just because you've done it before. Just like when I started off on TikTok straight up copywriting Twilight, terrible. But I started off literally by posting the extended scenes. That's how I started
I,
my Twilight TikTok. And
that's how I found you.
and then I would show the extended scene and I would like at the bottom I would put like my opinion or something like, "Oh my gosh, wish they kept this in, love this." I would rate it or something like that. And then like in the comments I would respond. And that's how I started on TikTok. And then after that, I saw lots of people because for a while I was just posting the extended scenes. And then after that, obviously the extended scenes ran out. So I was like, started posting behind the scenes. And then slowly I started going into like the more memey, the more jokey videos because that's probably what I like doing more, like the more jokey videos or the editing and stuff like that. But whenever I started doing that, I'm sure I wasn't not the first person to post a Twilight extended deleted scene on
Yeah.
TikTok, but when I started seeing people do it after me, I wasn't like, "Wow, really? I was the first person to do this.
Yeah.
Whoa." You know, like that it's like it's we're all pulling from the same material. So like do what you got to do. But like if I make a video and someone goes and copies it word for word and you
There
that's
I've had that
different.
happen to me
I have
where
I've had that happen to
yeah.
me too. And then it's like people will go on their comment like loyal, like I don't even want to call them fans because that's weird. Oh, weird.
I call them friends.
Friends. So if one of my friends, one of my followers, whatever, will go and be like, "Oh, hey, like Raven did this first," like, and or like they'll at me and they'll be like, "So and so did this first," and they'll just be like, "Oh, okay, like I didn't know," or "Oh," or they won't respond at all, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. But all I want to say is that just give credit where credit is due. Just like Twilight Talk, she stated that she gets a lot of her information from the Twilight Lexicon. That's great. A lot of people get
Yeah.
a lot of their information from the Twilight Lexicon. But for people to go and say like, "Wow, don't go follow Twilight Talk because she gets all her information from the Twilight Lexicon. So you shouldn't follow her because she's not even like that's not that doesn't matter because we get a lot of our information from the same place, from the books,
Yeah.
from the illustrated guide, from Stephanie herself, from the Twilight Lexicon, from Wiki Fandom, whatever. Like
Oh
we
my
get
god, I get a lot from Wiki. Like
we
I
get our
love Wiki.
we get our information from a lot of the same sources. So to say like, "Oh, don't go follow this person because they weren't the first person to do it," that's that's not correct. Like
Yeah.
At least Twilight Talk has given credit where credit is due, you know?
Yeah.
And then the same for me like she Twilight Sarah Twilight Talk, she shouted me out and that just made me be like, "You know what? Like I feel like I should like share this abundance. Like we are lucky right now to have tens of thousands followers. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy. Like never in my life would I think that I would have over I have almost 24,000 followers. You have 10,000 followers. Like
Yeah.
millions of like never in my life would I thought that I would be getting followers because of
Twilight content
Twilight.
creator.
Like that's weird. Literally like if in my in bios and stuff or like if I do a resume, literally I put like Twilight content creator. I'm not kidding.
I
Literally,
mean, that all you should put that in resumes because you know what? If I saw that, then I would be like, oh, they know how to debate
But you know,
because
it's interesting because if you put because like skills or like things to know about me and like say like they always say to put like on if you're gonna go to acting auditions, I always tell my students put something that's interesting. Like if you know how to do like a front flip, just put like I can do a front flip, and then though that's it starts a conversation. It starts a
yeah,
conversation of like you can do it like, oh, did you train or how did you know like little things like that. If I were an actor and I put on there highlight content creator, I 100% know that whoever the casting director is gonna be like, what do you mean? I'd be like, I really really love Twilight, and then just go on and I make Twilight videos and I have so and so many followers and whatever. I literally got an NBC interview because I make
you
Twilight.
did, you did that.
Like,
Yes.
like that is wild. Like who like imagine going and putting on a resume. I have had an NBC interview, and then your hire like the person who's hiring goes, why did you have an NBC interview? Be like, because I make Twilight videos, and they're like, literally my school like teachers in my school, my principal, they'll be like, oh, our famous TikToker, and I'm just there like, please stop. Because I don't want students to find myself. I try not to like. I've tried to be very PC, but sometimes it's not possible. But literally, like today, I did because I've been on TikTok for over a year. I didn't post on my 1 year anniversary because I didn't, but my NBC 1 year anniversary for the interview is coming up soon. So I'm gonna post the interview on there since I have access to 3 minute videos now. I can post the
Yeah.
full things. But I did the trend. It's like get 27 videos and let TikTok like auto sync it to the song. And I put like being a Twilight creator has brought me so much, from an NBC interview to new opportunities to adventures to the most important lifelong friends. Like I could not have done it without Twilight. Like, so let's just like be nice to each other. Let's not like be terrible people. Like, what the heck?
Yeah. We're literally gonna go and share a experience in Forks, all of us. And
All of
it's
us.
like
And like
because
it wouldn't
this
have happened if we didn't post on
me
TikTok or
literally we all didn't know each other, and then we all made the decision like, oh my god, we're just gonna post. Like maybe this would be fun. And then that led to following each other back, and then that led to DMs, and then it was all like, oh my god, you want to FaceTime? Oh, let's start a group chat. Oh my god, let's go to Forks. It's I mean, honestly, it feels like I've been friends with y'all for years. And all because of the stupid clock app.
and I feel like it's been heightened because we were in quarantine for a lot of our friendships. So like we had nothing else to do but talk to each other. There'd be
Yeah.
there would be days. I mean, our group chat nowadays is like every time because usually like we're in school, work, or whatever the case might be, or sleeping. In my case, because I sleep in the summer, I sleep a lot. But
Me too.
there was a time where the group chat was, and every now and again the group chat gets a little chaotic again, and but like there was times you would leave the group chat for like 5 seconds and you'd have 100 messages.
Oh my god, when I would go to class and I would be like, okay, let's see what happens. Come back, 250. And I'm all like, what happened?
I
And sometimes
at
it
some
just be
point
like,
I've had 1,000, like 1,000 messages from the group chat, and then I'm there like scrolling all the way back until like the last thing I saw, and then I go through everything, and I'm like,
oh my
okay.
god, when there would be like when we would have all those voice memo conversations and I would have like 400 voice memos and I'm all like, I'm not listening to this shit. I'll listen to the last one and I'll pick up from there.
No, I would literally I would go and I would just go. I'd like be in the bathroom or I'd do something, just put play all, and then I'd just be there listening because I don't
It'd
know
be like
why
a podcast.
we literally just at some point only communicated through voice memos.
It was so funny.
Uh,
Oh
and
my
then
god.
and then after that, we just created like tens of millions of group chats. Like there's just like so many group chats happening. It's just like weird. Like I'm sure we
Oh
have,
my.
like it's just there's a lot. It's a
And
lot.
then I have like right there, it's hit the picture, the Photoshop pictures of all of us.
Oh yes.
So
But literally it's just like so crazy. So like that's why it's like super important just like to be welcoming. If you were doing something for a long time and someone came and did it in their own way, great. Let them do it. And give credit. or give a shout out or acknowledge or something. Come on, like just like let's just be like human beings, or like that's it. That like, geez. And that was on my that was all on my list. That was on my entire list.
I mean, I think we've really much covered everything. I think the moral of this podcast episode is, guys, let's all just be nice and be respectful of each other, because I would really hate to see it become like the Harry Potter fandom or the Star Wars fandom. And it's like a lot. I'm not in like the Twilight fandom is really like the only fandom I'm really in, because it wasn't, yeah, you have your arguments here and there with people, or like, you have people you disagree with, but it wasn't, it had never made me feel like I don't want to post. Like I mean, the fact that I've seen so many creators take breaks and they're all like, I just don't feel like posting. I feel scared to. It's just like, I never felt that way until now. It's because like with Harry Potter, God, you can't even get one thing with Harry Potter now. Otherwise, your whole entire comments is a shitstorm.
Mhm. I tried to hop on the Marvel bandwagon a little bit, but I think like Marvel is so like particular, and like the Marvel talk is so particular in their content that
Yeah.
it's very hard to like kind of like pop off on that. But I mean, like that's the one thing I love about the Twilight fandom. Like literally, like I don't know if you're following Edward Silver Volvo on TikTok. You need to go
I
like
don't.
that is the perfect. It's the if you guys aren't, you should go follow them. They're great. They have we're friends. They have 60,000 followers, 5.5 million likes. They post probably some of the most asinine things I've ever seen in my life, but they're so funny. And it literally goes to show that the fandom, oh yikes, that the fandom can go from like the most crazy, what the heck is this video meme, to like analyzing and like critiquing and giving your thoughts. Like there's a wide range. There's something for everyone in the fandom.
I
Like,
love that. I love accounts like that.
and so it literally goes to show like there's something for everyone in the fandom on TikTok. You go from the funny videos to the like literally. That's why I say their videos are just so funny. And it's just like that we just have to like, if you don't like something, I think the moral is let's not be like terrible shit people. And if you don't like something that someone posts or it doesn't agree, you don't agree with it, either try to have a civil conversation. This is another. But do not go on and like spew hate, because it takes more time and energy to spew hate. And what are you going to do? You're just going to go through all of that and it's not even going to change their opinion. It's just all it's doing is changing their opinion on you.
Exactly. Exactly.
And like
It's just
for what? Like for what?
I I'm hoping maybe in a month or so it will die down, because it's all like, I would just hate for, it's not, I just don't want it to be like this when we have our trip, because it's all like, we're gonna want to post about our experience, and it's all like, we're not gonna want to do that if we're gonna be freaking bombarded by negativity. And it's all like,
We only have like around 40 days. Can y'all just like chill out, please?
yes, please. We have 6.5 weeks.
The next thing you know, like we're gonna post about being on a trip and they're gonna be like, wow, how dare you go to Forks and do all this stuff. Like, oh, it's gonna be so just
And be like, well, because I wanted to, and I wanted to become Bella,
that's it.
therefore I went.
Yeah. Oh, so y'all, sorry, we were irked. We were very irked in this episode.
We're sorry, and like we don't want to have it. We don't want to be making videos like this, because I think we have talked about toxic fandom
Mhm.
energy and all that. So it's like we have kind of touched on subjects like this, but it's like we never want to have like the full episode like this. Like we'll touch on it, but we want to make episodes for you guys that are fun, and we're like just like doing weird stuff. We're just talking about Twilight. We don't like to talk about the negative and like the bad part of the fandom. But you know, it's just so prominent right now that it's really affecting, you know, our friends. It's affecting us, and you know, if you're part of it, then maybe you should do some rethinking. If you're not, then you're doing great. And
Please, yeah,
tell your friends if you know them to stop it if they are doing it.
We just like want the fandom to be inclusive for everyone, no matter their opinions on anything. Like, and that's it. Like, just like there's people who like Jasper and there's people who don't. You know,
Yeah.
my sister today was like, "I love Jasper. He's daddy," and I was like, "Devin, you know he was a Confederate soldier, right? Like he lied about his age to join the Confederacy." And she was like, "What's that?" She didn't. She was like, "I don't pay attention."
Yeah.
She's like, "I don't pay attention to history." And I was like, "Devin." I was like, "My guys, you don't know my sisters are black." And I was like, "Devin."
I'm so sorry, but I'm so sorry I laughed at that. But the way, like, I mean,
No,
I was the same. I didn't pay attention in school either.
I recorded a video of me telling her what it was, and she said the most asinine thing. I don't even want to say it because it would sound terrible coming out of my mouth. Maybe I should call her and she can say it. Devin, come here. She's like, "Come here, please. Sit. You're fine. Sit down. Come here." You're sitting on the cat. The kitten.
I'm looking at little baby.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay, so what did you tell me about Jasper before I told you what the Confederate soldier was?
I said that he was daddy, and I don't care.
Okay, and then what did you say after I told you what?
No response.
No, you have to say it because I can't say it.
Well, I have to.
Yeah, you have to.
I said I could be his slave.
She said,
Oh my god! Oh,
Devin, you would get canceled on Twilight Talk right now.
Cancel me.
She said to cancel her.
I love the shirt, by the way, that she was wearing. Love it.
Reese says she likes your shirt.
Thank you.
She said thank you.
Welcome.
But literally, I'm like people have their opinions, right?
People have their opinions.
So let's just stick to our own opinions. And all you can do is educate. And if they don't change their opinions, then that's their right. And that's it.
Well, everyone, follow us on Instagram, TikTok at the Bite Podcast, or on Twitter, Podcast Bite. Catch up on the rest of our episodes.
Maybe we'll do it. Maybe since some people are popping off on TikTok, we'll have to do a Twilight Opinions part 2.
Yeah. Stay tuned for that. We have quite a list. We got 2 episodes. See, we record every 2 weeks. So really, if you think about it, we've got 6.5 weeks till 4. So we got about 3 podcast episodes before Raven and I will be doing a live one together.
Yes.
So,
and, oh my gosh, that's so weird. And then also maybe there's been some talk possibly of doing a podcast with other podcasts in Forks. It's just a matter of maybe finding the time to do it.
And
although I've heard from people say that there is time to do like stuff in between, stuff on your own, like between events and stuff like that. So yeah, Rhea and I are not staying in the same area. I'm staying in an Airbnb, Rhea staying in Forks at a hotel. So
but we'll find time.
We'll find time, yeah.
I'll either come to you or you can come to me, or if it's a nice day, we can meet up somewhere where it's pretty.
Oh, well, and I think at our Airbnb there's like a whole like lake in the backyard and stuff. Maybe we do one at the lake.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So, and Raven and I do plan on vlogging. We'll probably, I've already done like one little vlog where it's just talking about like the Forks trip and like what's to come. But I'm planning on, doing packing, and then I'm going down to Florida 2 days before I fly out because I'm flying with Kenzie. So I'm gonna vlog me meeting Kenzie and then the flight and everything. So Raven, I know you're also planning on vlogging, so you guys might
Yeah.
see. So we can either, maybe we might post the vlogs on this channel, or we might post them on separate channels, or we'll make a whole other channel just for our Forks vlogs.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool because I am doing I vlogged me buying my plane ticket, and I think my VIT. Um and then I've been making like a little countdown on TikTok, but I'm so pissed at myself because I realized the other day that the first countdown I only put it 15 seconds. So
No.
I just made a second one, and I'm gonna combine them together after the fact. So but gee, great job, Raven.
I've done that. Like I'll be like, I'll be making a video, and then I see I had the 15 seconds. It's like shit. I gotta redo it.
Yeah. And so then I am actually flying from here, from my home, well, my area, with Cherish, who we talk about sometimes on this podcast.
Go watch your
Because
episode with Cherish.
yes, we have an episode with Cherish. We talked about mainly Loki, but hey, it's whatever. And so I'm flying out with her. We're flying from where we are to Dallas, from Dallas to Seattle, and then I'm getting a rental with her. And I think we fly in literally at 11. We have to pick up a rental by 12:30, and then I think we're literally gonna just drive.
You guys are gonna drive straight from the airport.
Yeah, I think so because
Yeah.
we get there at 11 at night, and to me, it's like I would rather drive. I'm like I'll probably sleep on the plane or whatever, sleep at the airport, whatever. Because personally, I feel because the other option would be to stay 4 hours in Seattle and sleep for 4 hours, and I'm like I don't see a point in that.
Yeah.
Just a hotel for 4 hours, and then we have. There's actually the two we're sharing our car with two other people. I think Mariah and Angela. Um,
Ooh, I love
and
Mariah.
Yeah, and actually Mariah gets here the day before, but I think she's staying in Seattle, and then so I mean she has the option to drive if she wants to as well. So I think we're just gonna book it, get to our Airbnb because it's gonna be there, sleep for a little bit, and then we have to wake up to go get our tags and stuff like that. So I think
Yeah.
you and I will be meeting Friday.
Yeah. Or Thursday. Well, no, you
I
fly in
get I
Thursday.
get there
Okay,
Thursday
yeah.
night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then we'll be meeting Friday because I get in on Wednesday, and then Kenzie, Jazz, and Crystal, because Crystal gets in. um Kenzie, Jazz, and I are all in the morning, and we'll be in Seattle because Crystal, she's gonna be going to Florida, and then she's gonna be spending the day in Florida with her dad and brother, and then she'll be getting into Seattle at like 10 o'clock at night. So we're
Mhm.
staying in Seattle on the 8th, and then we're leaving on the 9th to Forks.
So I get
So
there. I get there the 9th at night, and then literally we'll probably just end up driving straight to our Airbnb, um, and then like just sleeping for 4 hours or whatever, and then go get our VITs. So I don't know if we'll meet you there or we'll have to figure it out then. But so I'm vlogging all of that.
yeah.
I have TikTok audios for countdowns and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Do be careful when driving at night, because deer,
vampires,
eh,
werewolves,
vampires, deer, werewolves. You don't know what you're gonna run into.
never know. Especially in Seattle, we might get caught up with a nomad group
Oh my
and
god,
come in
newborn
and
army also.
geez, that's so scary. But yeah, also because I don't know how it is over there, but I know like when Carlos and I were like went on our trip to go take Mare to Emily, and then on our way back, like there's lots of winding roads, and we were driving at night. At least from like when we went from New Mexico to Utah, we were driving at night, driving up mountains on winding roads, and
Yeah, it's the
it was a
same up
lot.
there from what I heard.
Yeah. So at least, yeah. But I think I'm not what I wonder what time the sun rises because I feel like probably should we're probably gonna start leaving there after we get like our rental and stuff like that at like well, hopefully by 1. So by 5, I mean maybe the sun will be rising. We get to see a Forks sunrise or something.
Oh my god, you'll see the breaking of dawn.
We'll see breaking dawn, literally. But yeah, and then we're gonna have to post something at Twilight at in Forks, like when it's Twilight at Forks. Oh,
I know. Oh my god. I just decided I think I'm gonna use because I went to Second and Charles and I found the Twilight Journal collection. And I saw there are some on eBay, like some people selling like new ones that haven't been open on eBay. Cause I'm all like, oh my god, I think I'm gonna take the Twilight one and that's gonna be my autograph book.
oh, that'd be
So
good. Start
so
it off.
and not just for like, the meet and greet with Billy and all that, but it's all like, maybe the OC and I want y'all's freaking autographs because
Yeah,
I want y'all's autographs too. So that's gonna be my autograph booklet for Forks.
I think I'm gonna take. I don't know. I'll figure something out. I have something for people to sign. I think I'll have something for people to sign. I need to buy a suitcase. I don't have a suitcase. I need to buy a suitcase.
TJ Maxx and might have some good stuff. TJ Maxx is a lot of good stuff, but they do have a good range of suitcases from what
I
I've
get
seen.
I get paid at the end of the month in August, and I'm literally just gonna buy it then.
Do it then. I am still I have so much stuff to get. I gotta get, all the travel stuff, but I'm like waiting on what is I'm waiting. I'm waiting on 2 pieces for my outfit, for my gala outfit, because my pants, no, 3 pieces actually, because I just bought shoes today. I'm waiting on
Oh,
I got my pants that I need to get hemmed because they're a little long, and then my top and then my wig. I got
mm,
I wanted to dye my hair red for Forks, but honestly, I don't want to kill my hair. And I was all like, it's kind of getting back to its healthy state. So I was like, you know what? I'll just buy a wig.
yeah.
So yeah. So I'm just waiting on
Crystal
that.
sent me some dresses because you're wearing white.
Yeah. I'm wearing a suit. I'm
Okay.
so
I was thinking maybe trying to maybe going off the rails and wearing like red or black.
oh my god. Yes. From like another Cinderella story.
I know. And so I'm like, well maybe, but Crystal sent me a whole bunch of white dresses to look for also because I need to buy my dress soon. Um but yeah, there's a we are it's almost time.
Almost time.
Jeez, we are almost there.
I cannot wait.
Literally me either. I'm so oh the kitten's eating. How cute.
Well, any final things, Raven?
No, I feel like I feel relieved actually. Like I got a lot off my chest.
I feel good too.
I feel great. I'm just gonna go into this very anytime I honestly I feel like anytime I see a negative comment, delete. I'm not dealing with it.
Delete.
Delete or
Control Alt
yeah.
Delete out of my life.
I'm on because people on Crystal's posts were like really irking me. So I was blocking. I was like, I can't. If not, I'll just continue and
Yeah,
continue and continue. That's never good.
yeah. It's just I can't stand people.
Woo. Well, guys, it's midnight. It's 12:30 for me. It's 1:30 for Ree. We this episode. We just needed to get it out. That's it.
We had to.
Well, maybe we should end the episode and then you and I can explore the app together afterward. But this was it, guys. We hope you had a great time. We
We
hope if
yep.
you share our frustrations, I hope you were able to get it out with us. If you don't share our frustrations, maybe you're on the other end. You can kind of see our point of view. If you're just neutral, like Mama Cat, she's neutral in this situation. You can just maybe send us a message, be like, "Everything's gonna be okay, love. That's everything will be okay," and then that's it. That's it. Go
Yeah.
follow our social medias. If you want to follow us on TikTok, show us some love there. Mine's Raven and Woods. Ree's is Life Size
Life
Coraline.
size Coraline.
We have some
Yep.
good things planned. Next month is our birthday month. So
Oh my God, August.
August
Yes.
is coming up,
We're in Leo season.
which is
It's
my
Raven
season.
season.
You're Virgo.
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay, guys. Well, we'll see you later. Well,
Yep.
peace out.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.